passion, through this discussion is really showing through in regards to storytelling. So let's learn a little bit more about you, Mike. Like, how did you actually get into storytelling?
Oh, wow.
Like, let's
Yeah,
let's get the story. What's the backstory?
sure. Well, I had a few things in my past that kind of formed the way I think. I was an exchange student to Brazil and the former Soviet Union when I was in high school and college, and learning how to look at people and things going on around you and learning a different language, but also learning the different cultures, customs, rhythms. It forced me to be able to stand in somebody else's shoes and really appreciate what was going on. I learned that two people can be in the same place at the same time, having the same experience, and both walk away, or each walk away with a completely different understanding of what happened. And when I realized that I wasn't right and they were wrong, but that we were both right, changed my world forever. That ability, that worldview, that ability to change perspectives is so important to being a sensitive, a caring, and a good storyteller. My uncle Sam, in my first job at his travel agency in Derby, Connecticut, was a masterful guy. He started off as a vaudeville producer. His wife was a singer. And it was, I heard some amazing stories about how you'd produce shows back then.
Sure.
But when he got into the real estate, insurance, and travel business, he collected things from all of his travels and he put them into the travel agency. So you walk in the front door and there's a wing of an airplane, which is the front counter. And over here is a little French, I don't know what the word for it is, like a place where you get pastries and little things like that, like fancy wire chairs and a little table and stuff like. And over here was a Swiss chalet, and his office was the inside of a ship's captain's stateroom with leather tooled walls and whatever that thing is that you drive a ship with. So you like walked into his business and the whole thing was an experience, and it gave people that feeling of, I'm already on vacation. So when they'd talk to you about like, where do you want to go? He would just go, where would you like to go? You can do inside, outside, sunny, skis, active, quiet, and it helped them to decide because they can imagine that they were on vacation. So fast forward to like 2002, when we started Story Miners. I was working with a colleague of mine named Tom Milkovic, and we were just kind of like talking about how hard it was in the marketplace. We were both struggling to, what to do. I had just left IBM as their e-visionary, and life was hard and the market was weird and the bubble had just popped. And we both realized that we were really good at eking out the brand story. What is this person about? What is this leader about? What is this brand about? What can this product really do? And we kind of looked at each other, and the name Story Miners came out. And I thought it was kind of a clever name, but I had no idea it was going to take me on this journey of actually becoming a storyteller. People started assuming that I was good at stories in like year two, but I wasn't. There were so many other people that could tell a better story than I could. But I started leaning into it. I started reading. I paid more attention. I read Robert McGee's story. I read a bunch of other things, re-familiarized myself with some classics. I read anime, comic books, history, biographies, all kinds of things to try to kind of sort out how does somebody, like in the first few words, grab your attention. Right. And I learned a lot about neuroscience and brain chemistry. I don't know a lot, but I know enough to know that, we are all addicts to the chemistry in our brains. So
sure, absolutely.
Yeah. And then we were asked to do some story assignments, and I bumbled through the first couple of them. And then I stumbled on this idea of you can tell a story that tells people what to do, or you can tell a story where they figure out what to do, where they're the hero. Now that's a long-standing.
The latter is a heck of a lot more effective than the former, right?
Yeah, and I was not the guy to figure that out. There's so many people ahead of time know that hero's journey arc. Joseph Campbell brought it to light for a lot of folks.
It's actually on my desk, the hero's journey. So I'm not going
to
wonderful. Bore you.
Very cool.
Find it, but yeah, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. So over the years, I just started making story more and more a part of what we do. So we introduced this concept called future story, another one called human prototyping, which is about acting out the customer experience of the future. We've done retail and healthcare designs, like 2 or 3 generations ahead of where a business is right now. And it's all based on the idea of what's the story that you want to tell. We even trademarked the tagline, find your story, be your story, because that is like, that's it. once you find where you want to go and what your calling is, you need to become that. And I think we did that because that's what happened to me. I found my story, and then over time actually became that.
No, I think that's excellent. I love the tagline, find your story, be your story. And, I feel like I'm going through that real time, to be honest with you, on my
Yeah.
entrepreneurial journey in this 4.5 years.
Mhm.
It's fascinating. I appreciate you sharing the background. So a couple of follow-up questions. So storytelling, right? So is it only effective for people trying to sell a product, a service, for companies, for independent consultants, or are there other applications? Like how can people leverage
There,
in their
there
day-to-day
are
life more effectively?
millions of applications. Probably the oldest one is passing knowledge down to preserve, the clan or the tribe or the group. Um, red things will kill you. Green things are okay to eat. Watch out for this big animal. This one, is friendly. It's used for teaching. Stories are used for entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Stories are used to encourage people to change their behavior, to motivate. Coaches tell stories lots of time. Coaches in football and basketball and sports, and coaches in business and life and your personal world. We hear a lot of stories in advertisements as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very nervous about where advertising is going right now, because the separation between what a brand promises and what the business delivers is really spreading apart. So often you can almost imagine that whatever a company claims is not true.
It's like 5G. What does that even mean? So anyways.